Battery 90%.
Hello, can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Still trying to figure this new headset out, guys. I'm sorry. I think you can hear me now. Let me know if you can. Let me know if you can hear me. All right, good deal. We got no Jonathan Isaac, so need to look through my projections here and adjust accordingly. What's up, Don? Give everybody a minute to get in here. We don't have a ton to talk about today, but I'm sure you guys all have questions. Two gamer today, ladies and gentlemen. Two gamer. This PJ Washington Najee Marshall news is pretty important, but we're not going to get that before lock, so you got to be prepared to late swap if you're going to play Washington or Marshall. I don't have a lot of interest in them personally, but yeah, Brooks all right today. I'm gonna have 100% Cole Anthony today, I believe. Well, I won't because I set a max exposure limit, but I'm gonna have whatever my max exposure limit is today. It's gonna be Cole Anthony. Now that Isaac's been ruled out, he's too cheap. It's good chalk for a reason. Yeah, I mean, I understand wanting to play that second game for sure, but I think so. The totals can be a bit misleading, right? When we're looking at it as a whole. Dallas and OKC game is by far going to be more scoring, without a doubt. I can promise you that right now. But that scoring is going to be very concentrated with SGA, J Will on OKC, and then Kyrie, Luka on Dallas. Whereas Orlando, it's going to be much more spread out. There's so much more usage to go around. And I think pretty much their entire roster is viable. But the best play from them is Cole Anthony. And another core piece I'm going to get into here in a little bit. How much is he owned? Mo Wagner's my guy today. He's only 21%, which it sounds like a lot, but on today's slate, it's really not. He's not even on the page here when I sort by ownership. But let's hop into it. At point guard, Cole Anthony, he's a lock for me today. He's going to be core. I understand you guys wanting to get away from him, but chalk is chalk for a reason. I think he's very good chalk today. Totally understand if you don't want to play him, but I got to today, right? He's going to play. I projected him for 28 minutes, and I'm getting him. And I think it's entirely possible he plays more than that. I don't expect him to start. I think we already got their starting lineup, honestly. But he will be the first guy off the bench, without a doubt. Yeah, he's not starting. He will get plenty of minutes today. He has to. I love SGA today. might be a core piece for me. My favorite pay up by far is SGA. I think he's in the best spot of all the starters, or all the superstars. But with Isaac being out, I think Giannis does look a lot better now. Isaac was their best defender. I figured they were going to play him on Giannis, but whoever they throw on him can't contain him. They can't put Mo Wagner on him because he's too slow. They can't put Wendell Carter on him. He's too slow. De Silva is just not a good enough defender. So I'm going to have some KCP. I don't mind KCP at all. I think Jalen Suggs is getting a bit overlooked. Excuse me. Line Star has Suggs projected for 46% owned. I don't feel like he's going to be that high owned. I've been all over the industry researching today, and no one's really talking about Suggs. Suggs has upside. He's one of those type of players that can win you a tournament today by himself. The Bucks suck against the point guard position. He's not going to be core for me, but I want a lot of Jalen Suggs today. I'm never going to tell you not to play Luka. Luka is a beast and can win you a tournament by himself, regardless of matchup, but it just about doesn't get harder than this for Luka. I'm going to be severely under the field to Luka today. If he beats me, I know what he brings to the table, but every sign's pointing against him today, and I'm just going to ride that. Linestar's got ownership at 42% on Luka today. I want to be around 20-25%, which, again, sounds like a lot, but on a 2-game slate, it's really not. I think Anthony Black, perfectly viable today, only pulling 29% ownership at 4,200. I'm going to have a lot of Anthony Black today as well. I'm going to have a lot of Magic players in general, to be honest with you guys. I just want to do a preliminary run here. And if you guys are running an optimizer today, I would make sure that you have max players per team cut up to 4 today on a 2-game slate. But I just want to do a little run here and see just kind of what kind of ownerships we're getting before we dive deeper into this. I got my max ownership set at 70%, and you can see guys that I like today. SGA, Jalen Williams. Spoiler alert, Jalen Williams is going to be a core piece for me today. Mo Wagner, same thing. Cole Anthony, same thing. Love Dort today. So we're kind of getting where I wanted to be. A little over the field on Klay Thompson, but I think he has a good upside. He's shooting 7.7 3-pointers per game. If we can get them to fall tonight, I mean, like Don just said, OKC has one of the best defenses in the NBA. If Luka or Kyrie are driving and they just get clamped in the lane, they're going to kick the ball out to Klay, and you know he's going to be firing away. I like Klay's upside today. I really do. But I like where we're getting at today. I want more Wendell Carter and more Goga, but other than that, everything looks great. It really does. All right, let's go back to position by position. I'm sorry. Dame, he's fine. I don't mind falling on Dame. The way I'm building today, I don't know how much I'll get of him. How much do I have in this initial run? 21%, and I'm okay being about 21%. The public's on him 46%. I'm about half that. I'm fine with that. Everything I said about Luka is true about Kyrie. He can break the slate open by himself, but it's a very tough matchup. The one thing I'll say about Kyrie, though, is he's still very underpriced. So I'm much more inclined to land on Kyrie than I am Luka because he's too cheap. Kyrie should be 9K plus, and he's 8,400. Casey Wallace is fine. We're going to get some shitters in our lines today, and that's okay. We just got to try to pick out the best shitters. We're not going to get the news before lock, but if we did get the news that, say, Najee Marshall and PJ Washington was out, Spencer Dinwiddie would become super intriguing. He's going to get a lot more minutes. But, I mean, even with Luka back, he's still getting 23, 24 minutes a game. If he lands in a lineup, I'm not mad about it. I don't think Dame's getting overlooked. He's getting 46% ownership. And then a Jay Mitchell and DeLon Wright. On a 2-game slate, I can't take anyone out of my player pool. That's just the way I build. But I'm only going to have him in 150 maxes. And that's it. And very limited exposure. I mean, the past 2 games, Jay Mitchell's played 19 minutes, but he's dropped 24 and 22 fantasy points. Like, he's a good basketball player, but not a guy I'm playing in my single entries at all. Moving over to the 2 guard, we got a bunch of the same dudes we've already talked about, but first one we haven't talked about is KCP. I'm going to be honest, KCP's kind of a shitter, right? Only 0.62 fantasy points per minute. It's not that great. But he has shown some upside this year, and there's going to be a lot of usage to be picked up here. So I'm going to have him, but if he lands in your lineup, I wouldn't be scared or shy away from it at all. Normally, I wouldn't want KCP, but on a 2-gamer, on a team that has so much usage opened up, absolutely, run some KCP. Dort, borderline core piece for me. I love Lou Dort today. Last 2 games, he's played 28 and 31 minutes and has dropped 30 and 31 fantasy points. He's a guy who he doesn't have to rely on scoring. He is a defensive specialist. He grabs boards. He dishes assists. Does a little bit of everything. And I love those guys so much more than I love guys like Jalen Green. I have to rely on their shot falling. Clay, I touched on him a little bit. I know I don't have him projected super high, but I think his ceiling is really nice today, especially if those guys like Najee or PJ sit. I think he gets an extra minute or 2, and I don't think he's pulling the ownership he should. I guess he's pulling more than I thought. Linestar's got him at 43%. I would be surprised if it's that high. But with Clay, it's the opposite of what I said about Dort. You gotta hope his shot's falling. And I just think the matchup works well for him. When those guys are driving, they get clamped down in the lane, they're just gonna be looking for a kick out, and he's gonna catch and shoot. Normally, I would never say this, but I think Gary Trent's viable tonight. Just hope his shot's falling. Sort of the same with Clay. I'd much rather find $700 more to get to Clay, but if you land on Trent, that's fine. I don't think so. Let me see. I mean, yeah, I guess Dort does struggle with fouls, but I don't know how much he's going to be reaching in on Luka. But that is a great point, 8. I don't even know if Dort's going to be on Luka. I feel like they put... Well, he might. I figured Dort would be on Kyrie. But either way, I mean, both those guys are elite. Believe it or not, I think Chris Middleton's viable tonight. I think he sees 20-ish minutes, and at his price, he can pay it off. I know 5,700 seems like a lot. It's not projected great for me, but Chris has an upside. He is a baller. I'm going to have him in lineups tonight. It scares the shit out of me, but he's that type of player. Like, nobody's going to be rostering him because they're scared, and he can win you the slate. I think Isaiah Joe is perfectly fine. Don't mind him. Quentin Grimes is the guy really sticks out for Dallas for me. If Najee Marshall is not playing tonight, if PJ Washington's not playing tonight, I think Grimes gets the full benefit of those minutes, and I want him in my lineups. Did they 8? And then AJ Green, Andre Jackson, just 150 max only for me. Small forward, I love Jay Will today. I couldn't get enough of him if I tried. I'm going to have a ton of Jalen Williams today, and I'm happy about it. 1.24 fantasy points per minute, has an amazing matchup. I just really like Jalen Williams today. He's ticking all the boxes for me. Good matchup, good fantasy point per minute player. I see no reason not to get to him today. Only 37% owned. Like, he has the same upside as any of the other superstars on the slate, in my opinion. And you might call me crazy, but he's hit 63, 65, 62, 59 fantasy points this year. He can absolutely do it. talked about most of these guys. Tristan Da Silva, he sucks at basketball, but he's 3,800 and he's a starter and should get even more run tonight. Usually plays around 20 minutes. Should have to play more than that tonight. So I'm gonna have him. Caruso is a lock for me on DK. He is a core piece on DraftKings, guys. But on FanDuel, a little bit different story because of the price. DraftKings prices is very soft on him. On FanDuel, 4,800, a little scary, but in back-to-back games, he's met value with 24 and 25 fantasy points, 17 and 24 minutes. I figure he'll play around 22, 23 today. That's what I gave him for my projections. Najee Marshall, I have no interest in, even if he plays. I'm actually just going to take him out of my player pool. Not interested in the guy returning from injury that I don't expect to do much in a tough matchup. Jet Howard, the man of the hour, the man the Discord has just been raving about. I get it, right? He's a good scorer. He is. But realistically, do you guys think Jet Howard's going to play 20 minutes today? Because I don't. Could he turn the slate upside down by himself? Yeah, but the chances of that are slim to none. And even when he has been on the floor this year, he's super scoring dependent. Only a 0.56 fantasy point per minute. I'm going to have him. What did I have in this initial run? I had 4% of him. And that's about where I'd want to be. 5 or 6% max. Like, I get wanting to play him. But more times than not, he's going to let you down. He's going to let you down more times than he pays off. He's met value. I mean, realistically speaking, you want 6x, 7x from him. He hasn't met value on that price ever in his career. He's got 16 fantasy points twice, but that didn't pay off his salary. And then the last guys here, Aaron Wiggins, I'm not happy about playing him, but I'm going to have him in 150s. That's about it. Same with Taurean Prince. Like, 150 max is all I'm getting him. And even Caleb Houston, I mean, he played 18 minutes last game, 10 fantasy points. I've always hated playing this guy. He's just terrible. But, I mean, it's a small two-gamer. Dylan Jones, like, 150, but I doubt I even get him in there. Power forward, talked about Jay Will. One of my favorite plays of the day, Mo Wagner. He's going to get plenty of minutes today, and he is a monster. I mean, that's fair rate, but if he plays over 20 minutes today, I will be very, very surprised. I'll say that. I love Mo today. He's got the upside. He's just... I'm not going to say he's just like his brother. I'm going to say he has the same motor as his brother. When he's out there, he's playing basketball. He's not just standing around. Like, I love this guy's enthusiasm about the game. He averages a monster 1.57 fantasy points per minute. That's better than Jalen Williams at 1.24. What's Giannis's? 1.56. So, I mean, I can't avoid Mo today. I know he's not starting, but Wendell Carter's not going to play huge minutes, I don't think. He's going to play more minutes than he normally does, but if he plays over 30 minutes, I would be very surprised. He hasn't played 30 minutes since December 4th. A week. And I think that was out of necessity against Philly. And he still didn't do worth a shit, 15 fantasy points. But that's the only time Wendell Carter has played over 30 minutes since October. So I think Mo comes in and does pretty well today. Mo's ownership right now is at 32%, but like I said earlier, if I sort by percentage owned, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players ahead of him. So I don't think it's that bad at all. believe it or not, I like Bobby Portis today on a 2-gamer. I don't like his price, but I'm going to get to plenty of him just because he has a upside in the past 2 games. He's played very well. Played 31 minutes last game. I don't expect that again, but I mean, he's a fantasy point per minute monster. You guys know I love playing Bobby Portis. Not a 2-gamer, I'm there for it. PJ Washington, even if he plays, I'm not really on him at all. Tough matchup, but with Luka and Kyrie in, he's met value once at the prices that he is now. He was doing great when those guys were off the court, but with them back, they're soaking up all that usage. No real interest. And then Kenrich and Oliver, just MME only for me. And at center, I don't know how much I'll get to him today just because of how I'm building, but I really like Isaiah Hartenstein. The Mavericks rank 27th against the center in the NBA. We know Gafford and Lively both, they foul a bit too much. So I think Hartenstein is just great. Exceeded value in almost every game since he's been playing. Just a solid play for me today. And if we had maybe one more set of games on this slate, I would probably have a lot more of him. But on a 2-gamer, I just kind of not really fitting my builds. Let's see how much we got of him. So 39%. I'd be happy with that in my final builds for sure. And Hartenstein's only pulling 20% ownership right now, according to LineStar. Wendell Carter is at 46, Bobby Portis at 29, Mo Wagner at 32. They're all ahead of him. And then my favorite low on play, I don't know if I believe this ownership. I thought it would be much higher, but Goga. 12% owned according to LineStar. 12% owned. Goga's a baller now. That's why he was the pitcher in the video today. Last game he put up 45 fantasy points with 16 rebounds, 21 points. It's a pretty good double-double there. Dished out 4 assists. But not a single steal or block, which surprised me. He should be able to pick up a steal or a block today. But love Hartenstein. Love Goga at the low ownership. Like both of them quite a bit. Brooks at 14%. Wendell Carter, the guy soaking up all the ownership, I like him at his price, but he does scare me. And it's his minutes. He's played 26 and 21 in the past 2 games. He's going to be forced to play more today. He is. But he does at times struggle with fouls. Brook Lopez is a veteran and knows what he's doing. He can get either Goga or Wendell into foul trouble quickly. And if Giannis is going to be playing down on the post, Goga's on Brook, Wendell's going to be forced to be on Giannis. Giannis was going to tear him up. He's going to make him foul him quick. So I'm going to have Wendell. He's even in my single entry pool, but he is a bit scary. Makes me a little nervous, especially at 46% ownership. Jet is at 5% owned. Nobody's going to play Jet. Gafford and Lively, I like them both, but the matchup is tough. I think either one is fine today. I don't mind either one being in my lineup, but for single entry, I want Hartenstein and Goga. And I think Brook Lopez at 14% is perfectly viable. I know 8's on him. Had a rough last 2 games. 26 and 38 minutes. Struggled with fouls. 10 fantasy points and 5 fantasy points. But we know Brook Lopez is a veteran. He's going to rebound. I'm not going to look too into it. And he's going to need to be out there, right? The Magic got some big guys. Goga, Wendell, Mo. He's going to need to be out there. And the last guy, Dwight Powell, I'm 150 max only, but don't play Dwight Powell. I'm not playing Dwight Powell. All right, it's time for the core, ladies and gentlemen. First one, Cole Anthony. I can't get away from him. Second one is, where's he at? Power forward, Mo Wagner. Third one, Jalen Williams. Then we got 2 spots left. I'm not going to give you a center as much as I want to. Let me move Jalen there to small forward. I really want to give a center, but I'm not going to. My other pay up, going to be on the same team. I love SGA today. I'm going to move Cole Anthony down to shooting guard as well. And my last core piece was going to be Isaiah Hartenstein or Gogo, one of the two. But I don't want to give you guys a center. So Lou Dort is my last core piece. You can put him at small forward or shooting guard. Either one works. I think either one's fine. But that is the core. Let's run it. It's going to be SGA, Cole Anthony, Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, and Mo Wagner. And while that is running, I am going to put it in the Discord. Give me just a second while I pull that screen up. There we go, it is posted. So see what we're getting here. This first lineup I love because I really like Jalen Suggs today. Literally the only question mark in this first lineup for me is Bobby Portis. But if I'm that scared of him, I can run to the second line where I get Giannis and SGA in the same lineup. So I love how we're going with it today. Love how we're going with it. Let me just adjust some exposures here, and then we'll swap to DK. Alright, now we got DK loaded up here. Now, you guys know I'm not shy on DK at getting a center at core because you can play 2 over there. Brief rundown of position by position. Still love Cole Anthony. I think Luka is a little more viable over here, but I'd still rather have SGA for the price. Oops, didn't mean to click that. Everybody else though is really viable. I mean, at point guard today, in my opinion, you're looking at Jalen, Suggs, SGA, Luka, Cole Anthony. Maybe Dame if you're interested in him, but his price is tough to stomach. But, you know, he's a superstar. He can pay that off. Then at the 2, Lou Dort, just automatic over here at 4,400. Gonna be a core piece. Caruso, same deal, 3,700. Gonna be a core piece. Just too cheap. Mispriced. Small forwards where it kind of gets tough over here. You can play Taurean Prince at 3,400, but I mean, it's a good value, but man, he's bad at basketball. Then power forward over here. I mean, it's kind of Prince and Giannis. J Will, he's fine. Yeah, I know Isaac's out today. Bucks starting Lillard, Andre Jackson, Taurean Prince, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. And then at center, I think Goga looks fantastic. He's just too cheap over on DK. And Hartenstein looks just as good. And then you got Mo Wagner, who looks amazing as well. So any of those three guys, I'm happy to get in my lineup today. And to be honest, on DK, I'm going to have two of these guys in 99.99% of my lineups. So give the DK core. It's going to Goga first. He's just a misprice. And then I want Lou Dort, Alex Caruso. Why are we going down here? Don't do that. Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, and last piece is Cole Anthony at the point. So that's your DK core. Let's run it. It's going to be Cole Anthony, Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, and Goga. Let me type that up in the Discord. If you guys are not a member of our Discord, it is linked in the chat and it is down below the description of the video. You can reach me anytime in there if you have any NBA questions at all. There it is posted. And let's take a look at these builds. If PDMR, I mean, he's much more playable than 8. I'll still probably only get him in 150s. But if you had the balls to rock him in a single entry, it could definitely pay off for sure. I just don't think my kahunas are that big. So I am in love with this first lineup I got here. It's very stars and scrubsy, but I get my core, and then I get SGA, Giannis, and Hartenstein, who I told you I wanted 2 centers. And the only real question mark is Taurean Prince. Like, I would rock that all day. I really like that. So, a bit of a shorter show here today because it's only 2 games. Prince or De Silva? It's De Silva for me, brother. Both of them are kind of shitters, but it's De Silva for me. I think Taurean Prince has a long rap sheet of standing on a basketball court, doing nothing and getting paid for it. I only can get 3 players from each team. Which 3 would you take from the OKC team? SGA number 1, Jalen Williams number 2, and then are you talking about DK or FanDuel? So it would be SGA, either side. It would be SGA, Jalen Williams, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Lou Dort. Just take your pick out of those 4. I ranked them in order, but you might need some value, so that's why I threw Dort in there. But if you're on DK, Alex Caruso at his price is just, that's why he's a core piece. He's just, you can't fade him at that price on DK. So on DK, it'd be SGA, Hartenstein, and Caruso, but only if you need the savings. If you can get to Dort, do it. just making a quick run here, see what kind of exposures I'm getting. Middleton or Clay? Clay. They're both a bit risky, but I think Clay is 100 times safer. Although Middleton does have a huge ceiling. SGA, Anthony Caruso, CPA. Who's CPA? Klay Thompson, Lou Dort, Giannis. Yeah, that's a great line. I like that if I knew who CPA was. Help me out, chat. Who's CPA? If it's KCP, then yeah, KCP's solid. J2T, welcome to the Discord, brother, if you're still watching. Thank you for joining. Yeah. I think that's a really solid line, Don. I think it's a really solid line for sure. Well, that is far too much Kenrich Williams. I'm getting more Jet Howard though now, guys. What's Mitchell's ownership? 1%. If you want to get different, you can take a risk on Mitchell. I think he'll be a little higher than that. I think like 4 or 5%, but that's like the max. Are you playing him too, Chubbs? Getting a lot of Oliver Maxine. Why am I not getting any AJ Green? He's starting, right? No, or Andre Jackson, that's who I meant. Like, he sucks, don't get me wrong. Andre Jackson sucks, but if he's starting, give him a little boost there. For tonight's game, who would I put at captain? Which game? Just so you know, I am definitely not the go-to for showdowns. I know I took down last night, but like, I am not that guy. I do not play a ton of showdown.
It's time now for another hard-hitting adventure with Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone on Night Beat.
I'll give him a little boost so I get a little bit of him. See, and that's the thing on small two gamers like this. You just need that one guy to hit, Chubbs. That one guy to hit. Don, it would be close for me between SGA and Jalen Williams. One of those two. Flip a coin. SGA has the higher upside, no doubt about it, but J will be much less owned in the captain spot. Why am I getting so much Kenrich Williams? Getting a ton of Hartenstein too, which I'm okay with it. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna end. I'm gonna have 7% Jet Howard, so. $17 to lock. You guys got any questions? That is why I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me help you. You got any questions? Ask away. We will look up the answer if we don't know. Any way you can get different with your single entry? Are you talking about the one you posted earlier? SGA, Anthony, Suggs, Thompson, Jet, Dort, Wagner, Jet. That is a very contrarian lineup, Chubbs, and I think that it looks really good. Like, I would like to run a lineup similar to that. You gotta hope that Clay's shot's fallen, which I explained earlier in the show. I think it is, and you gotta hope Jet gets there. But I like that. Like, I'm down for that lineup for sure. Who's more on DK, Giannis or SGA? It's gonna be Giannis, I believe. No, I'm wrong. SGA 43, Giannis 41. I don't think you need to move off of anyone in that lineup, honestly, Don. I think I think that is a solid line. Of course, Chubbs. Every time I see your name or read your name, all I think of is Chubbs from Happy Gilmore. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Yeah, does anybody else play on FanDuel and had the issue where no matter how many times you check your app, it will like make you do the two-factor authentication every time you get out of the app? It's the most annoying shit in the world. Ten minutes to lock, guys. You got questions? Get them in. Get them in. Damn, I'm getting a lot of Dame in this build. I don't know how I feel about getting this much Dame, man. I see Anthony Trent Jr. I replied to you, Don, and sounds good. Let me know. Wait. Let me know when you send that. still getting a lot of Dame. What if I put J Will small forward spot? What would that do? God damn, 8. I don't know how you come up with these lines sometimes, but they like, it's not the way I play, but it tickles my brain how you think to build these things, because I would never be smart enough to think to come up with this. That's intriguing, bro. I think that is either going to place last place or first place, and I love it. I'm here for it. You gotta update me and let me know how this does after the game, because I'm here for that, brother. I mean, truthfully though, if PJ and Najee are ruled out, you're sitting pretty there, brother. You really are. You really are. I like it. That's something to look at. And I mean, if those guys are ruled out, the more I think about it, the more I think he's gonna get run. Like, good run. The DK core's posted in the Discord, in the premium chat. Fucking lineups on FanDuel doing it again. Just like the other day, it's only wanting to upload 200 of them. I'm having to keep redoing it. I emailed support and never got a response. DM'd them on X, never got a response. Do you guys still call it X or Twitter, or do you call it X? I swear, if there wasn't such an edge on FanDuel, I would only play DraftKings. It's always a problem. And look, it's not just me. I'll go to FanDuel support and you'll just see the comments, like here. Why do I have to constantly relog? Or tomorrow I will have to file an official complaint with the gaming board. Like, all it is just people complaining because they're just crap. Absolute crap. 4 minutes to lock. You guys got any last second questions? Because I'm about to dip out of here, but I am always available 24/7 in the Discord. It is linked in the chat and the description down below. You can @me me at any time, and I'm happy to help you with late swap news, any questions you might have. All right, guys. There's no more questions. I'm gonna hop out of here. Good luck tonight. I wish you all the best. I hope to see a Syndicate Sports logo on top. Taken down tonight. Taken down. Good luck, guys. If you need me, I'm in the Discord. Feel free to at me at any time. Later, fellas.